Hello everyone, this is Cynthia Thinnis and welcome to my channel. Last week I talked about the traditional model of the cosmos, and I also talked about what the Earth in that model symbolized. And I explained how the Earth was not just the planet that we lived in, but included the entire known universe and everything that can be measured or observed from the senses or through augmentations to the senses, such as telescopes. Just as the Earth in the traditional model of the cosmos is the entire known universe, the sphere of the moon is also quite vast. It's not just the orbit of the physical moon, which is still a part of the sublunary sphere, is still part of the sphere of the Earth. We can measure the moon. There's a physical body in the moon. The sphere of the moon is above that. What the sphere of the moon is it's where human consciousness resides. It's the world of our dreams. It's also the world of our thoughts. Images that we observe and that we create are here. Imagination itself comes from the sphere. And even though the sphere of the moon is beyond the ordinary senses and beyond what can be measured, there are things that happen there that have a tangible impact on the physical world. Nations are a part of the lunar sphere. What makes one piece of land a part of one nation and another piece of land a part of another nation? It's simply what we've decided as a society. Why is this piece of cloth different from this piece of cloth? They are different because they are symbols, which are also a part of the sphere of the moon. Frankly, even our economies are a function of the sphere of the moon. This is especially true today, where money is simply numbers on a computer in most senses. But even before, what is money? A piece of paper, metal? What is it that has value? That's what it represents on the lunar level. Everything that I've discussed so far relates to ways that we impact the sphere of the moon, things that we do in the sphere of the moon. And it's true, we can operate freely in the lunar sphere, as much, if not more so, than we do in the sublunar sphere. Yet, the lunar sphere is also the gateway for us to be able to access the higher spheres and for the higher spheres to influence us. In a very real sense, religions, mythos, hero stories, they're all part of the sphere of the moon. They're narratives and dictates that mediate the higher spheres to us so that we can understand them and feel a connection with them. There's a Buddhist saying, the finger that points to the moon is not the moon. In that sense, religions are not the truth with a capital T, but they do help us to find the truth with a capital T. Many people are concerned about the impact of pollution on the physical planet that we live in. But right now, the lunar sphere is just as polluted, if not more so. Think about all the images on Facebook, all the images on YouTube, all the images on social media and on television. All of these are part of the lunar sphere, and they become more so the more we interact with them. And there's plenty of nice images, but there are also many things that are dark, nasty, ugly, silly, stupid. There's just a lot there. And this can be quite sobering to think about. This lunar sphere is not only how we gain access to the higher sphere, it is also on a basic level how we learn about what's happening on this sphere. Anything that we know in the world beyond our immediate environment comes to us through the lunar sphere. It comes through us from media. It comes from what people tell us. This is also how we know about things that happened before we were born or things that happened when we weren't present. It's all through the lunar sphere. It's through what we're taught. It's what we're exposed to. It's what we read. In some ways, this is almost more important than what has actually happened on the physical plane, which is over and done with in a minute. Things can linger in the lunar sphere far longer, for generations or even millennia. Even though we cannot measure it or observe it directly, we do have some control over the sphere of the moon, or at least the small part that surrounds us personally. We can decide what images that we will look at and that we'll create. And by keeping that as clean as possible, we keep the image sphere or the lunar sphere around us clean. There's a common phrase in New Age circles talking about what you put out into the universe. In the context of the traditional model of the cosmos, what that's saying is what you're putting out into the sphere of the moon. What we think and what we believe has a very real consequences to the material world. On a very basic level, people fight, kill, and die for the lunar notion of a nation. And this is only the beginning of the impact that the sphere has on us. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or thoughts, please feel free to comment. If you enjoyed this video, please press like. If you want notifications of future videos, please subscribe and ring the bell. Goodbye for now. See you next week.